Chapter 8 of The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And all I'm doing is reading the summaries in the back of each chapter. And this chapter is called No More Suffering. You are not meant to suffer. And when you're living as your true self, awareness, you will never suffer. So let's just be aware of the sounds in the room. Just listening. And being aware of how your eye pillow feels on your eyes and across your forehead and eyebrows. And just being very aware of relaxing the eye muscles and the muscles besides the eyes. And let's be aware of our breath coming in and out. The practices of awareness keep you present and calm the mind. Because we cannot calm the mind with the mind. We connect to breath and just being open and aware, like listening for a sound. Listening for a message. Listening to your breath coming back into you. And going into the depths of this darkness in your eyes that you have shielded from the light. Just relaxing into the darkness. It's like in the darkness, you'll see light. And that's what we're looking for. And relaxing your body into the floor, being conscious and aware of how your back is resting and your shoulders. Bringing all of your awareness to your arms and hands, how heavy they feel and relaxed. And dropping into your chest and just feeling it rise and fall with your natural breath. Relaxing the belly and your low back and your hips and legs, just melting down over your knees, your shins and calves, your ankles, and noticing, bringing your awareness to the heels of your feet. And growing roots, getting very grounded. Getting very calm. And feeling very peaceful. And just wishing that you could stay in this state of consciousness, of just aware, just relaxing, just taking it in, just observing, just being very neutral. And realizing But suffering is caused by believing negative thoughts. So suffering is self-imposed. So we can undo it all by ourselves just by changing from negative thoughts to positive thoughts. See if you can turn a switch inside that makes you smile. Just even a fake smile. And love in this moment. Changed the channel. If we resist what's happened, we will hold the situation to us and we will continue to suffer. So this is resistance of you sending negative thoughts towards something that you think is against you and creating victimhood. And we're safe. This is just a dream. It's all an illusion. And it's not so serious. Boy, does the suffering, the negative thoughts, the thoughts of fear really spin fast. And it's the conscious meditator, the person who stays in awareness that stops that and realizes, I caught my thoughts. I caught one. And I'm transmuting it. I'm changing it to love. And you can continue to think about it. Why would you keep attracting this into your life? Why would you think, it's all perception, what you think is negative? And so sort of picking it apart and be determined to see it from another side, another point of view. Just like, okay, I'm not going to have a negative thought about this anymore. I'm going to see it a different way. I'm training myself for this. And then understanding that whatever happens in your life is brought to you by your thoughts. So with this command, you can attract all good. I used to believe that with the good there comes the bad, but you can change it so that it's all good all the time. And the big thing is to just stop resisting anything negative. You just go neutral. Whoop, I was thinking a negative thought. I was perceiving something as negative, but it just is what it is. Ask yourself this question. Am I the one suffering, or am I the one that is aware of the suffering? The truth is that you are the one that is aware of the suffering, rather than the one that is perceiving suffering. There is one particular belief in particular. There's one belief in particular that is the root cause of all suffering in the world. It's the belief that we are a separate person. You think that you're separate from everything else once you begin your nitpicking at yourself or your negative talk in any sort of way towards anyone or anything. You think you're not connected to it, but you are. And you're sending resistance. So you let go of sending resistance and let go of the thoughts about it. You just like, I let that go as part of the old dream, part of the past. I let it go. And you just raise your vibration to help soothe over any feelings of separateness. You raise it up. Whoop, I was down low vibrations, wallowing in my own pity. So problems exist only in the human mind. Problems are not real. Problems are only imagined. So anytime you're saying, I've got a problem, and it's like, yes, you do. You sure did imagine a problem. And realize it. It's just catching yourself. It's just, and then catching yourself with sweetness. Don't get mad at yourself. I've gone through that part too. Like, why was I doing that? I know better. To experience a problem-free life, instead of believing your mind, use the power of your awareness to become aware of your mind. That's the sweet catch. I'm aware. I am creating this. And I am changing the channel to the smile channel. Changing my channel to what's right here in front of me right now, in this beautiful moment. And ground down with that. When we give our attention to a problem, we energize the problem, and it gets bigger. When we shift our attention away from the problem disappears because all the energy has been removed from it. And just realizing your thoughts are energy, and you're letting your energy seep out when you're letting it go somewhere else. So you bring your energy back into you, your power, your awareness, and you just get present. And you just understand energy. You are made of energy. We are energetic beings putting off a vibration and a frequency, and we can raise it, the whole greater consciousness, with our vibrations. So it's up to us to help everyone just by paying attention to yourself. And once you've taken your attention off any problem, then you can use your mind to create what you want by focusing your mind on your thoughts that you want, on what you want, whatever you want. Life is a menu. You get to pick it. What do you want? Use the power of your awareness to be aware of your mind's negative thoughts and stories, thereby dissolving them, and you will be free of all problems and suffering. Just realizing these are stories. So this is Chapter 9 summary, dissolving the limiting beliefs. A belief is just a thought that we think over and over again until we believe it. And all beliefs are limited because they come from the mind. A belief is stored in our subconscious mind, where it operates at an automatic program. just by going back to old beliefs. So this is what we're doing. We're reprogramming our subconscious here with new beliefs about ourselves and our unlimited, abundant happiness available to us anytime, anywhere. So it's just what we choose to believe. Beliefs will continually project themselves into your life and make themselves true. So that's us changing the belief that we are positive all the time. We are positive all the time. And make it true. Make that a true belief. Whatever circumstances are appearing in your life currently are being generated by your belief system. I just said that. So you're attracting, if something is negative in your life, it is you who is attracting it. And you could say, how could that be? I wouldn't attract something like this. And if you would think back deep down, were you contemplating and thinking about something over and over that you didn't want to have happen to you, yet it happened? You're still attracting it by sending it thoughts. You always think thoughts of safety. I am always safe. I am perfect health. All words of full positive, creating a positive belief system. And be very aware when you hear yourself, I believe or I don't believe, because immediately following those words is a belief. So this is a fun one that I've been working on catching myself when I say, well, I believe this. It's like, is it true? Do you have to believe that? Could you let that belief go? Where did that belief come from? Thin air. Be very aware when you hear yourself say, I think or I don't think, because most likely what will follow that will also reveal a belief. And remembering our mind, where our ego lives, that's where beliefs and thoughts run crazy. Question everything. Through questioning, we can discover limiting beliefs we're holding on to that are obscuring the truth. So asking yourself, why do I believe that? While beliefs remain stored in the subconscious mind, they will automatically continue to play out in your life. But the moment you become truly aware of a belief that you hold, the belief is dismantled. So it's, why do I believe in that? And then you become truly aware that it's just a belief, just a thought, just a judgment, and you let go of it. Every belief you become aware of and consequently dissolve will propel your life to heights of freedom, abundance, lightness, and joy. Dr. Hawkins says, it will be a natural high. Every belief you become aware of and consequently dissolve will propel your life to heights of freedom, abundance, lightness, and joy. I've been practicing this by just saying, I don't know what I believe. Everything has been flipped in this year for me, and now I just say, I know nothing. because everything changes. How could you put an attachment on something that changes all the time? You can give the subconscious mind an instruction to highlight your beliefs for you so you can become more aware of them by doing this. It's good to do in meditation so that you can just quiet and wait for an answer to come to you. You say, "Show me my beliefs clearly, one by one, so I can become aware of each and every one of them." What do you believe? I believe it's a good idea to be clean. Or thinking of a belief that you think that might be limiting you. Then there's the belief, is being too clean too much? And then just let it go. It just is what it is. When a belief dissolves, it also takes with it thousands upon thousands of thoughts attached to that belief, which have also been buried in the subconscious mind. So I like to think of this as like cleaning out a filing cabinet, that you have so many files stored in your mind, and you're cleaning out these old beliefs, and you're making so much room in space in your mind. You're letting go of petty human stuff. We don't realize that it's our beliefs that make our life so heavy and make us feel older, and that it's our beliefs that hold us back from having the life we deserve. There's a great belief to let go of. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm this. It's beliefs about yourself that are tearing you down. So you let go of that belief, and it's all about different choices you make from then. To expose your beliefs, be aware of your reactions. Reactions are actually beliefs in disguise. So imagine somebody saying something pretty terrible to you, or something that is terrible about something else, like a judgment, and you're like, gosh, wow, they're really judging that person, or they're really negative. And then you realize that you're the one being negative by judging them, and it's like it's feeding on itself. And it's like they are just being who they are. They are just doing what they do, and I am not judging them. And they can say whatever they want to say. It's just them being them. It's not me. And you let go of a belief there because it was in a disguise. It's something that used to puzzle me a lot. They say, whatever somebody shows you that you disagree with, and it's like, you know that that's something you got to work on for yourself. It's like, that is so backwards. But if you realize you're actually judging that person. I had a friend call and she goes, I just can't figure that out. And I really couldn't for a long time either. This really helps. All you have to do when you notice yourself reacting is to become aware of the reaction. And when you're aware of the reaction, you take the power out. Love that. Chapter 10 Summary. This is my most favorite chapter in the book, Everlasting Happiness. You are happiness. It is your true nature. Happiness is a never-ending wellspring of happiness, is here right now inside of you. There is no other happiness but the happiness of your true self. Awareness. The happiness you have felt at any time in your life is the happiness of awareness. So bam, here we are. Are you happy? Then you're in awareness. And this is where you want to be. And so how do you get there? You just do what makes you happy all the time. There is nothing better for your life circumstances than you feeling happy. The happier you are, the more effortless is your life. The reason why I love this chapter is they say happy a million times in it, and I just love the way in the audio book they say happy, happy, happiness, happiness all the time. When we seek happiness in the world, our happiness is fleeting. So that's by adding toys to your collection that you think is going to make you happy. Material things. It's not that kind of happy. It's like, I'll be happy with retail therapy. It's the things that bring you joy. It's the right channel to be on. We can enjoy all the wonderful things we want to be, do, or have in the world. But we can enjoy these things with the full knowledge that the only place to find real permanent happiness is within us. So this is where I like to think about the heart center. This is where the happiness comes from. And so just turning a channel on your chest to happiness is like, no one is going to turn my channel off of happiness for me but me. So I am turning it to happiness. Your happiness determines how you're feeling. So if you're not happy, it's because you're thinking about something you don't want. Standing between you and permanent happiness and who you really are is one thought. I don't want this. Well, guess what? You're going to get more of because you're resisting something. Realize that this just is. Let it go. Turn back to your permanent happiness channel. When you feel pain or some hurt from a situation, let that hurtful feeling be a wake-up call telling you that right now you're believing negative thoughts that are not true. We just do it to ourselves. Many of us unintentionally resist being happy. Simply by realizing that we've been resisting happiness, we take most of the power out of the suppressed belief that has been causing us to resist happiness. We don't have to do anything to be happy. Instead, we need to stop doing what we're doing that's making us unhappy. What's making anyone unhappy? Want to stay there? Sure. Or go do and be whatever makes you happy. There is only one thing that causes unhappiness, and that is attachment, usually to a belief. Attachment comes when we hold on to something for fear of losing it, because we believe that we can't be happy without it. Often our attachments make up the identity of the person we think we are, and we feel if we dropped our attachments, we would lose our identity. So we cling to our attachments when all along they rob us of our happiness. You are not your identity. You are that happiness feeling. You are the awareness of what's making you happy. To free yourself of attachments, all you have to do is stay as awareness more and more, and all of your attachments will drop one by one. You can be happy in this very moment no matter what is going on around you. Happiness is not something you have to look for or wait for. I did a exercise with Rhonda Byrne about letting go of an attachment, which could be like a pain in, we'll say, my thumb. And like I've been attached to this pain for going on 4 years now. And why do I keep resisting it and not just let it go? And thinking, is there something that I can't get my thumb on? Those kind of thumb talk. You know, it really goes to the emotional state of you, and you can clear it. So she says, just look at, like I can do this with my thumb, I can look at this thing, or she says, or you can think about this, a certain attachment that you have, and then look at it really closely. And if you want to just look at in your hand like you're holding on to an attachment, and just looking. Let's even make a fist for holding on to this attachment. And then when you're doing your eyes open, you open the hand, let go of the attachment, and look up into big awareness all around you and get happy. And this is cleaning out one of the files. This is like releasing whatever it is that you've been holding on to, and tuning into happiness cleans out your old filing cabinet. Maybe thinking about it a different way. Not resisting it, just allowing it and just being neutral, and it lets go. You can't acquire happiness. You can only be happiness. If you are happy, you are being your true self. If you are not feeling happy, remember to welcome any feeling that isn't happiness and allow it to be present without trying to change it or get rid of it. So that's the welcoming practice. So I just welcome my thumb, welcome the pain, welcome something that we perceive as bad, or someone that we perceive as bad. And you can imagine giving them a hug, or just hugging and loving whatever is a pain issue. Welcome it, and just stay present with it without trying to change it or judge it or get rid of it. You just welcome it and say, it is what it is. No judgment. Be neutral and be happy. The more you welcome the unhappy feelings, the more you will feel the happiness of your true self increasing every day. Chapter 11. The world, all is well. Now this is a very comforting chapter, and I learned this actually from a movie called The Reality of Truth. If you want to find it, it teaches you balance. The world as we believe it to be, solid and concrete, out there existing separately from us, the only reality is an illusion. The world is not separate from us, and all of this is just a dream. At its deepest level, the entire physical structure of our world and everything in it is nothing more than empty space. We learned this very well this week in a video by Richard Lang, and it's about realizing if you go deep inside of you, in through your cells and molecules and atoms, and you get down to the smallest part of you, in each cell there's nothing there. It's empty space. And then that showed it coming out from the middle of you, like it goes into the middle of you, and if you zoom in as close as you can, there's nothing there. It's empty space. And then you zoom out as far as you can, and you see this little human standing in this county, and you zoom out further and it's in the state, and that person gets so tiny you can't even see them anymore, and you go out in space and you can't see them. So the further away you get, you can't see them, and then you go all the way into them and you still can't see them. We're just space. We're this energetic space. That is what we are. Matter is mind, ego, matter, material. Everything appearing as solid and material, our whole physical world and universe, is actually images projected by the mind. The contents of your dream and your experience of the dream are entirely mind-made, just as your experience of the world when you're awake takes place entirely in your mind. The power that can turn thoughts into an apparent universe is infinite awareness, the only power there is. So thinking of a powerful microscope, going powerful down deep into you, into the depths of the cell, the thing that makes you up, there's nothing there, just empty space. And that powerful microscope pulling away from you as far as it can until it's a telescope. And you're nothing. I can't even see you. It's all just made up in our heads. And awareness is the only power that there is. The universe came out of consciousness, and consciousness, which is infinite, is the very foundation and underlying substance of our universe and everything in it. Infinite consciousness. The world, the universe, and everything in it, including your body, are in awareness, and they are all sitting in and on awareness. And while we remain attached to our own beliefs, the belief that we are separate individuals, the world will never be at peace. Billions of egos will always create strife. So you just think of that as part of the balance. If you expand your awareness, and that you are awareness, you'll help balance out the millions of egos. And maybe it will become contagious to them, and we'll all ascend. Kind of dreaming, but the egos and everything that isn't awareness just keeps it in balance. Your freedom from any suffering doesn't depend on the world coming to peace. It depends on your seeing that you have mistaken yourself for only a person, and on your experiencing yourself as the one and only infinite being. So realizing you are one with infinite consciousness. You are one with everyone and everything, because we're all space and we're all sharing the same space. Awareness says yes to absolutely everything. Awareness allows for the freedom of everything to be in the way it is. It just is. Because the world and everything in it is awareness, its own self. And that goes to the Douglas Harding no head. It's just whatever you're experiencing is awareness experiencing it. And no matter how things appear in the world, all is always, always well. In chapter 12, the last chapter, is there is no end. Actually, it's the end. There is no end. Here's your free ticket to freedom. There is no such thing as death as we think of it. The body dies, but the spirit cannot be touched by death. To die before you die means to die to the idea of being a person and to realize the infinite awareness that you really are. When the body ends, awareness and consciousness remain, as always, fully aware and fully alive. When we know the truth, life becomes light and full of ease. There is a lot of laughter, unbridled love, and total enjoyment of everything that happens as it happens. A deep love and compassion arise for humanity and every living thing. Oh, compassion and deep love for humanity and every living thing. Your real self is the only permanence in existence. Everything else comes and goes, appears and disappears. And having a life on earth is like having an avatar in a computer game. It's just a game. It's not so serious. In our human life, we also get a new body every time we die until we finish the game. And by waking up and fully realizing who we are, awareness, you win. As your true self, you will have even more fun than you've ever had. You will do all the things you did before. The only difference is that you will do everything in continuous happiness and peace. And the only purpose in life is to be the totality of who we are. So that I like to think of as just owning it. Just loving who you are and accepting who you are and being your authentic self. That is awareness. Whatever brings you happiness, that's being authentic. Very often, it's through our suffering that we begin to wonder what life is all about. For many, their suffering has led them right into the paradise of their very own self. When you know that all is well, no matter what, you are finally free from any notion of negativity, and your presence will soothe others tremendously in their suffering. Awareness is your way out of all suffering. It is the key to immortality and a life of laughter, joy, abundance, beauty, and bliss. When you see love anywhere in the world, realize it is you. When anything hurts you in life without exception, it's a wake-up call telling you that you're going in the wrong direction. You're believing something that isn't true. And the end for all of us is to realize, to remember, and recognize who we truly are. Eternal awareness. And in the back of the book, there are practices to do to keep you aware. And so, loving that programming, loving the awareness of awareness, and practicing it when you go, and just feeling very blissed out right now, so content, so happy. And then coming back into your body, coming back into the present moment of awareness now. Coming into the awareness of embodiment. Coming back into the body, back into the room, back into your breath. And taking a little stretch and wiggle through your fingers and toes. And just feeling programmed for the good. The awareness of love and neutrality and acceptance that all is well. And when you're ready, you can roll onto your side, but keep your eyes closed for when your eye pillow falls off. And just stay in this little side pose for like pushing snooze on your alarm, and just, that was some big work. And then when you're ready, just gently rising up and grounding down. And just loving the moment. Just be easeful. Just feel peaceful. Just feel slap happy. Happiness, happiness. And when you rise up and ground down, you feel your tailbone touching the floor, and you feel your torso rising up. You feel lighter, as if you've really made some space. And you can just fill it up with love, and you can do that by grounding down to the earth and drawing a breath in through the top of your head, and just thinking of that energy going around you and tuning in to the channel of love and happiness and awareness. And bringing your hands together, be aware of how your fingers are touching. See it in your thumbs, and see a space on the inside of your hands where you're going to plant an intention of whatever it is you want, because all you have to do is think about it in a positive way, and tipping your forehead and honoring it, and honoring each other for sharing this space. And know that I honor the awareness in you. Namaste. 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 Namaste.